Hey, welcome to X31 Topic 3 Pundits. I'm your host, John C. Dvorak, and I'm talking a lot faster than I normally do. I'm here with Andrew Eisner and Joe Engo, and we're going to discuss some of the malware issues that are out there, including the Black Hat conference, which came and went.
But it's actually ongoing.
Is it going on as we speak?
It started today, I think,
by
Wednesday.
the time people get this video, it'll be months old. But the one interesting topic, and one news item that came across the desk is the fact that some products are coming in from overseas with malware built in.
That's right.
This is actually not really that new. This has been going on for years now, especially with, there was a bunch of fraudulent Cisco equipment that was coming with software in it that was, it was Cisco software, but then they had some, some stuff embedded in it, backdoors and whatnot. And this problem is only going to get way worse, and there's really no way to fix it.
Why is it going to get worse?
Because you're going to have all these other countries that want to attack the United States or other countries, and they just want to be able to spy on them or whatever else, and they just embed this in the equipment.
Maybe attack is the wrong word. I mean, I think, spy on them is probably closer. I mean, for instance, they just revealed today, McAfee just revealed today that supposedly China has been spying on the UN. They've got.
I heard one that the UN was doing some hacking.
No, someone has been sitting on the UN computers for I think 2 years, just reading all the. I mean, the WikiLeaks is just like a small piece of this whole global kind of espionage thing, cyber snooping, and I think a lot of equipment we could see more and more equipment like digital photo frames, flash drives, chips. I mean, RFID chips with embedded malware. It's the potential for it is so huge that, and there's no. I mean, all this stuff comes from overseas where no one. I mean, who's going to spot it? Who's going to detect it?
Plus, it could be things that don't trigger until like 10 years in the future. So it could be a bunch of, or a couple of years in the future.
And how about this?
It could be hard drives that just start wiping themselves.
How about this for an interesting little trick? With the certain WIPO requirements, the World Intellectual Property Organization, in fact, this is, I think, established in Great Britain and some other countries, making it illegal to take the code that's in these chips and to deconstruct it to find out what the heck it said, what it does or what it says. It's just actually you can't do that.
Yeah.
So you get thrown in jail.
So they're sanctioned.
They're sanctioned, and which brings us to Conficker. Which everyone's been going after, and Microsoft has a $250,000 bounty, and I wrote about this, and I said that, and I still think that if it's not the guy will get caught who did it, unless it's government, because the government guys can shut up, but the normal hacker that would come up with something that has such a huge base. Would have a big mouth about it somewhere, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when you have a bounty of $250,000 on your head, I mean that's huge bragging rights right there.
Was this in addition to the Roostock reward? Wasn't Microsoft offering?
Oh, Roostock, right?
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah, I meant Roostock. But Conficker's the other one that they're after, which is more interesting because I think it's bigger.
Okay.
I don't remember the values of
there's something. The size of these bot networks is ridiculous. And they apparently have only taken just a small percentage off the net. So now there's talk about creating viruses that are like antibiotics. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Well, how does this work?
So basically, it's essentially a virus that goes out, finds computers that are vulnerable, and forces them to patch themselves. I mean, that's basically
Which now people are arguing, there's an ethical argument about, you can't do that because now you're messing with my machine, but your machine's already been messed with, is trying to fix it.
No, the easy way to solve this is that, Comcast or whatever ISP, if your machine is participating in a botnet, they just pull your plug. That's it, plain and simple. If you're running an unpatched or extremely unpatched,
I would say that half the people, they would lose their customer base.
Yeah,
exactly.
But you know what? Eventually, those customers are going to come back. They're going to want their connection back on, and plain and simple patch your machine.
I'm not convinced that this would work.
But the fact is,
I like the idea.
It's a good step in the right direction. It's not going to solve the problem.
If I'm running Comcast and somebody brings me the real numbers, they go, "Holy crap! These people are terrible." Well, we're going to cut them all off. How much would that cost us on the bottom line? What's the stock price? I don't think so.
Second thought.
Yeah.
So
well, Microsoft really needs to start stepping in here and saying, okay, if your machine is running,
they're offering
but a little bit better
in
there. They need to really start encouraging people to update their machines and keeping their machines totally up to date. Show a big warning every single time you log on. Hey, your machine's more than a year's out of.
User. Well, let's go back and discuss how PC users operate. First of all, it's like update time. And you go and it's like, I don't know, you're using Mac all the time. You don't go to a Patch Tuesday where there's 65 updates, many optional. And so you go through them and you go, oh, this is security, I don't know, is that really a problem? I got a virus checker, why am I worried about this? Screw it.
Well, I think that if they made it so you didn't actually have to reboot your machine in order to apply these patches, then people would stay a lot more up to date because it's a hassle. Just have to reboot your machine in order just to apply a couple of patches.
And the worst part would every so often, you go in this, you go to patch your machine to catch it up, and you must have had this happen. You go in and say, I want to fix this, and this. It says, well, hold it, you can't do that unless you've done this, and this. I say, what? And so you go do those three things, and it says, or you try to, and it says, wait a minute, you're running SP2. You have to be running SP3. You better be updated. So you go to run SP3. It says, no, you can't run SP3 because you haven't done this.
You can spend your whole life.
It's like you spend an afternoon trying to patch your machine. It's a nightmare.
And then companies like Adobe, send out a patch every other day. I'm always getting the notification.
Constantly. And here's another thing that bugs me. So Adobe, I don't know how long this went on. They finally stopped doing it. This really bugged me. You go to, I've got an old copy of Acrobat on a machine. And every time you blow a PDF file, it reads fine, but you get a big message. Oh, you should update. This is old. So you say, okay, I'll give it an update shot. Boom, update. Boom. And it comes up, it says you're going to get the update and the Yahoo toolbar.
Yes. That drives me absolutely batty.
So I said, no, I don't want the Yahoo toolbar. You click on, no, it won't let you update. It wouldn't let me update my Adobe product without getting that idiotic, by the way, the Yahoo toolbar, and most of these toolbars stink. So anyway, so I never did it, but finally they stopped doing that. But what somebody else snuck a Yahoo toolbar on my machine somehow. I'm
payback.
I'm updating something, and I go back, and there's a Yahoo toolbar. So I got to go through the add-ins. I got to go erase the thing, get it out of there.
There's a few OS X applications that are now pulling this crap. They install Growl. I hate Growl. I absolutely despise it. It's just so you could do like these little, like when an application has an event, like you get a Skype message or a document is unsaved or some crap like that. It just does this little pop-up in the upper right-hand corner. I hate it. I absolutely despise it. It's a very Windows kind of thing. But all these applications out there, they just install it without your knowledge.
Maybe the guy that installed the toolbar was the guy that you remember you did played a trick on somebody's iPad. You changed their password.
Yes, still
revenge.
It's a very good trick. No, this predates that.
Should we talk about Black Hat or save that for the next segment?
No, I think we should talk about Black Hat and milk it a little bit here.
Well,
did you go?
No, I'm just fascinated by the whole culture, and particularly, look at, threats are coming from everywhere. They're coming from China, from, they're Eastern Europe, they're, the phishing and the Nigeria, but these guys that are doing the Black Hat conference are almost doing it as mischief,
Black Hat is more for the companies and securing themselves.
Yeah.
DEF CON is for more of the individual. So DEF CON, you see a lot more of that kind of stuff.
So anyway, so they've got they're in Las Vegas this week, and they have their own version of the Oscars. They call them ponies, PWNIES. Are you familiar with this term?
Yeah,
pony.
Like you've been pwned.
You've been pwned, and so so now. So, and they say the big award winner this year is most likely going to be Sony.
They're still finding Sony vulnerabilities.
Sony's going to get up there and accept. I'd like to accept this pony award and thank.
Sony got ponied.
Sony got ponied.
and so but the fact is that all these corporations and Lulzsec and Anonymous have hacked everybody you can think of, and the fact is that they're so vulnerable. They leave. They had this one, the best one was this HB Gary, where they said, if you have externally facing crappy custom CMS where you use the same password as your Google Apps administrator account, you probably don't want to go picking fights with any one hacker, let alone an angry swarm of them. So this is
if you're running a security company, honestly, you should not be poking the stick at people. That's a bad idea.
Somebody just fell and killed himself.
Lulzsec.
Yeah, the Lulzsec.
NSA is, gee, it makes me kind of paranoid just talking about this stuff. So
yeah, you'll get a letter when you get home. You won't be able to log in.
Well,
anyway, all
it's
right.
fascinating stuff, and
we'll keep tabs on it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you've been watching Experts.